What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Business and Biceps. And you better wake your ass up, because on today's show, we're going to unlock your full potential, Johnny Fusco.
I think we are, man. I think we are, and this goes way beyond business, man. This is going to entail some personal digging that may feel uncomfortable, but it is important.
Oh, it's massively important, and I think people overlook it. So I'm
Corey,
excited
I am massively important, and I'm massive. Okay, those are two things I am, bro.
John, what's your current body weight, John?
217.
Damn, you are massive,
dude. Forget about it.
This is Business and Biceps, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Right. John.
Yes.
Brought to you by Fundrise. What is Fundrise, John?
Corey, listen up. Listen closely. Fundrise enables you or the listener to instantly access high quality, high potential private market real estate projects, from high rises in DC to multifamily apartments in LA. Each Fundrise investment allows investors to diversify instantly across dozens of real estate projects. Each one is carefully vetted and actively managed by Fundrise's team of real estate pros. If you want to get in the real estate game and you don't have tons and tons of capital, Fundrise is for you.
Hey, make sure you guys go to fundrise.com/biceps for more information. And it's also brought to you by Square. Square is a powerhouse. They do all kinds of stuff, but one of the things they do you probably don't know about is capital. Yes, they have amazing business partners that help secure you guys loans online through using their analytics. And of course, loans are subject to credit approval and issued by the Celtic Bank member FDIC.
Is that like an Irish bank? Is that like William Wallace's bank from Braveheart or something? The Celtic Bank? Well, what's that all about?
I'm not sure, but it's written on the paper.
Okay. I just feel like screaming freedom or something. Just don't fucking kill me in the public square. Right? Don't kill me in the public square, okay?
Hey, make sure you guys check out what's awesome about Square is that they have this capital opportunity. You got to check it out. Go to square.com /go/biceps today. And it's pretty amazing. And it's probably one of my favorite things that Square does that you might not know about.
It's going to help your business.
Absolutely. All right, Johnny, I think it's time for Q&A and Mr. Butt.
Bring Buttlife in, please. Tag him in.
Yes, everyone, I'm in the ring for Q&A.
I didn't know we were in a ring, but I guess okay. I guess this is a fucking Royal Rumble, dude.
Tag team.
Dude, listen. Cage match.
Everyone, keep on sending us questions at Biz and Biceps on Instagram and Twitter. When we use your question on the podcast, we'll send out a free t-shirt.
King Kong Bundy.
First question. I'm a personal trainer and I'm nearly finished with my physical therapist assistant program, but have a rigorous course load and my 8-week practicum coming up. I believe that I need to switch my clientele over to my garage gym in order to make this all work. How should I go about doing this? What approach would be most effective in communicating this with my clients?
Man, I would just, first off, anyone can respect the responsibilities you're trying to juggle. So if they're your clients, obviously they work with you because they like your service. I'd just be honest with them. I'd be absolutely 100% honest with them. But I would ensure, because they are paying for your service, I would ensure that by moving to your garage, they will not lose any value. It's not like they'll lose access to quality workouts or anything like that. Make them, help them understand that they are not losing value. You are simply doing this so you can continue to train them while you're making this big transition. I would just say, be honest, explain everything, over communicate.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of when I had to move my clients from a gym to basically like my first personal training studio. When I say gym, that's a stretch. It was a ladder closet at a mini mall, inside of a mini mall that you didn't even know existed. And so I remember very specifically going to each client saying, look, this is what it is. These guys are trying to take, X amount of dollars off me. In your case, you can say, this is what I'm up against with this workload. There is absolutely no way that there would be a fall off in training. Actually, I would do this, and this. I even think it's cool to lead with one extra. And I'm not saying you got to give them a price break or give them an extra day, but is there a way that you incentivize them in a way to up your service, for them to look forward to that by them, moving with you. I think that's maybe, you can think about that. I think whether it's a little bit more accountability from them emailing you, or there's something that you can do. I think when you lead with that, that always helps too. And I was just straight with everybody. Hey, I'm about to start this. I'm young. I'm pushing. I'm going to give you the best quality service, and I'd really love if you would support me. And we're not going to lose track. And actually, I think we'll be better. I think, John, your points. It's exactly what I did, and every client came with me. And on top of that, they would start to tell their friends, because then they felt obligated to help, like we were as a family, and they wanted to make it better. And a lot of them donated equipment to me. I mean, it was amazing how people rallied around when I was just honest with them.
Butt Life Q2.
My circle of friends has been continuously getting smaller due to people not keeping their word or bringing bullshit my way.
Nice.
I see them fairly often, but don't really engage with them. I notice they're continuing to throw shade my way, though. Should I explain to them why I'm not fucking with them anymore? Am I expecting too much from these people? Or how should I filter who I fuck with and who I don't?
You sound like my brain, my friend. You sound like my fucking brain. I can dig on this all day long. So, they're always going to throw shade your way. You're in a different place than them. And here's the hard part of life. That's okay, right? That's okay. You have to accept that friends, not friends, your circle, you're never going to be able to control or dictate that. All you can do is disassociate from it. Now, if a friend who does not understand you approaches you and is like, hey, man, why are you acting this way? Then I think that's a respectful way to engage you, to really find out how you two can continue a friendship. But if people are just throwing shade at you behind your back because they're ill-motivated and you're not around and you're not giving them the time of day, you need to simply look out for number one. We've talked about this a lot, and I know this is hard for a lot of people, but they say the path to the top is lonely, and there is no truer statement, because it is lonely and people will never understand you. That's why, throughout my life, I've always felt, and I continue to feel this way with a lot of people, eternally misunderstood. But I've been working on, I'd say the past couple of years, trying to be okay with that. Because like, I can't squeeze your neck, whoever, the universal you, I can't squeeze your neck and make you understand me. So I'm just going to quit trying. And if you care about me, you will reach out to me, and I'll always talk to someone who cares. But if you're throwing shade, man, I'm just not going to give it any.
Yeah, I think that you can't let it rent space in your head, my dude. It's like that's one thing that I've been thankful that immediate family has never really done this to me, which is like uncommon, I would say, probably for my situation. But I have had a ton of people around, we'll say acquaintances that, demand or expect, or they think they're entitled to your time because they once had your phone number, or they know you from the gym, or they think that this, that, or whatever. And it's just one of those things where I operate like, John, you're going to like this one. I kind of operate like a ninja. Because I'm in and out early, it's dark, and you can't really find me or fuck with me unless we really know each other. And that's just the truth.
Ninjas, you don't typically know who they are. They are the original stealth assassins.
There you go. So maybe like not a extreme ninja, but a low-key ninja. So I would say like, and I sort of
a part-time ninja. Okay.
I'm a part-time.
Yeah, you're a part-time ninja. Hey, 20 hours a week, dude. No benefits for you, dude. No benefits for your ninjaism.
I'm the squat ninja.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's one of those things where I started just operating like this, because making yourself ultra available, always, being around, just talking about nonsense. There's no part of that in success, honestly. Like, I just don't like waste my time unless we're really like accomplishing something. And I just told people that feel this way about me that, talk shit like your discipline just ain't good enough to fuck with me in certain areas. Like guys that used to come to my gym that don't anymore and want to talk, or people that used to do business with me and then don't do business with me anymore that want to talk. Like to me, it's just like, look, I'm on a path. This is the way I do things. It's kind of like what we talked about the other day, either with me or against me. They throw shade my way. You just got to kind of like shoulder it like a fucking boxer, right, Johnny? And just kind of keep moving. And at the end of the day, it's like you're trying to get that fucking belt. You keep shouldering it till you find your spots. And then eventually you don't even feel that shit. And I think that it takes a little while, at least it did for me, but I'm used to it now. And I just keep going squat ninja on them. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
Part-time ninja with no benefits. But Life, Q3.
I'm 25 and in a job that I'm not really liking. Real estate has been my side hustle since the beginning of college, but I want to make it my full-time gig ASAP. I just had another job opportunity pop up that sounds like a good fit. Should I take this job for the time being so I'm happier from 8 to 5 until pursuing my real estate dream full-time, or should I grind it out at my current job until I can quit?
It's really hard because you said you don't like your job, and then you talk about, moving to this other job until you get to freedom to do real estate. You didn't detail what each job is or which one you like more. Did he say he likes the potential second job more?
The second job sounds like it'd be more fun for him.
Okay, well, it sounds like you. What's his name?
I don't have it in front of me. Sure.
Okay, it sounds like you, dude, whoever you are or female. It sounds like you don't like to work. It sounds like you're looking for greener grass. And anything that's new is greener grass. And the job you're in, I bet you when you took it, there was some really positive thoughts there. I bet you looked forward to it. But now it's brown grass. So a new job is greener grass. And I think with the attitude that you have, listen, if you love real estate, fucking go all in on real estate. If it's been your side hustle since college or whatever you say, well, bro, shit. It should be kicking over some cash. That's what real estate does. And I would recommend you go there. But if you're talking about jobs, I don't like this one, so I'm going to go to this one. If you're going into a job with an attitude of, I know I'm going to leave this job, you're not going to be good at it. Fact, you're not going to be good at it. So you can stay shitty at your current job because your attitude is pretty shitty. And you can go to a new job because the grass is greener and have a shitty attitude as well because you know you're going to leave, so you're never going to commit fully. I just think if you really do love real estate, which I respect, go all in now. If you have to sacrifice some money, if you got to sleep on the floor at your buddy's house, this is what it sounds like you love. Make the fucking move now. Make the fucking move now. Go in.
Yeah, this just sounds like what I hear so often, which is like, you're fucking scared, bro. That's it. And I get it, because when you make, here's what a lot of people, Johnny, and you remember when you did this, and I remember when you make the call on, I require no one else to pay me a paycheck. I have to create it. There's no time clock. That's fucking scary for motherfuckers. And so when you're looking at, I don't like this job, I'm only going to stay at that job short term. It's like, no, if you love that all the way deep down in your soul, then you got to go get it. Like, quit being fucking scared. That's the leap that has to happen if you ever want to be this person that you're daydreaming about. It is fucking hard. It's not for everybody. But if you really want to be that person, make the fucking move and do whatever it takes. But see, people don't realize, like, when I went to my personal training studio, I would do anything that it took to keep it alive.
You got to jump in anything. An 82 Corolla, right? You got to jump in an 82 Corolla and fucking roll down down Main Street in that thing and turn up Nelly or something. You know?
Oh, I'm sure that happened to me.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. These guys got to get comfortable in 82 Corollas and fucking shitty fucking apartments. If they want to get where they want to go, you got to fucking roll down Main Street with Nelly.
Got to go that ramen noodle life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. That's how it goes.
Straight Talk Wireless. All right.
Straight Talk Express.
Is it time for Fusco's World?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Normally there's a fucking announcer and at least 22,000 people screaming my fucking name. So we should, oh, wait, there they are. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please stop cheering.
Please stop clapping.
You know, it's like at one of those award ceremonies, they're waiting to talk and everyone keeps clapping and they keep standing up. And it's like, no, thank you. And no one will sit down, right? They keep clapping because they really appreciate that individual. Well, that's what happens to me all the time. It's happening right now. It won't stop. Please sit. Cory, help me here. All right. So thank you, everyone. I'm here today. No, I'm kidding. All right, we're the Academy. I'd like to thank the Academy. No.
John's getting an Oscar right now.
I'd like to thank the board. So in Fusco's world today, we're going to talk about probably the best piece of advice I've ever gotten, combined with how you use your energy. And the more I interact with people and just the more business I do and just the more fucking life experience I have, the more I understand that, like, we all can choose how we spend our days. We all can choose who we talk about, what we talk about, and we all have to be aware that things don't happen to us. We create our own lives. And I think what younger people and people who have not tried to develop themselves, what they do often is they pick too many battles, if you will. So when I was referring to the best piece of advice I ever got, it was from my mom when I was really young, and she really detailed to me, like, John, especially with your personality, but this goes for everybody, you have to pick your battles. And it's because the human soul, your mind, your emotions, you only have so much energy. And if you want to contribute to this fucking world in any way, shape, or form, the more battles you pick, the more negative is going to be in your life. You're going to have negative thoughts, because before a battle is waged, there is weeks, months, sometimes years of animosity towards somebody. And all that animosity can be distinguished very quickly or extinguished very quickly by either working through a situation in your head and saying, okay, I'm at peace with this. Okay, let's use Cory, for example. Cory said this to me. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to move forward because we have a lot to accomplish, and this is not a battle worth fighting. So I'm going to drop it. At that point, if I make that decision, even if I was offended or whatever, that thing that was done or said or whatever, it is not in my headspace at all. Now, on the flip side of that, if I don't let go of that, if I pick that battle, even to the extent of not bringing it to Cory, but just internally, I pick that battle. When I'm driving my car, I'm thinking, that motherfucker really did this. He really fucking said that. And it's eating me up daily. And what I'm not doing, what I'm not doing when I'm in that frame of mind is I'm not thinking about getting better as an individual. I'm not thinking about how to grow my business. I'm not thinking about all these things that are mandatory, that are priorities in my life. And we all get bogged down by the things other people do. And you just have to submit at a certain point, like, I can't control, like I talked about when the gentleman asked, I believe, the second question, what other people do. Here's what I can control. I can make a decision to call them on it. And then I need to look at, before I make that decision, the domino effect. What is that going to do? So, we'll take the hypothetical scenario of Cory doing something to me. So if I go at it full blast and I'm like, fuck it, this is a battle. Well, me and Cory have a lot of money locked up together through businesses.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that can be affected through choosing to go to battle with someone. And is it worth it? Is it worth it? So here, sometimes it is. If someone lies, cheats, and steals, bro, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. But that is the time where you do pick a battle, because that's morality. And that's also, if you're working, or if you're dealing with someone, or if you have a friend who lies to you, cheats, steals, you want that out of your life as soon as possible, because that is cancer. But listen, people are different. Like, please, listener, hear me here. Your cousin's different. Your coworker's different. Your boss is different. And no one thinks like you. No one thinks like me. No one talks like you. No one talks like me. We're naturally going to be offended because we're different people with different mindsets. But the key is understanding that we're different people with different mindsets. And if something is so vile and so bad, try to fucking take a deep breath, try to sleep on it, and talk to someone about it. But if it ain't that bad, man, please, for your own growth as an individual, let it go. Because even if you don't take action and you let it play in your head, it will take away from all your goals and everything you're working towards, man.
Yeah, well said, Johnny. I think that this is something that, especially as you deal with more zeros, right, John, that is huge.
Absolutely.
That you have to like weigh. Here's also something that popped into my head while you were talking. Sometimes that your brain can kind of run on things, and like the person that metaphorically kind of did something to you, or that's what you thought, they might not even thought of that for one other second.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? Like, because people are so different, their mindsets are so different, it's like you might have took it a certain way. That intention probably wasn't that way, and they've never even thought about it again. And it could be brewing inside of the other person. So through communication, you could get that out without maybe having a so-called battle. But I think that when it's like you said, when there's morality type stuff, and there's certain things that I'm just not willing to bend on, you're not willing to bend on. But at the end of the day, we have to bend for each other in this hypothetical scenarios, because the goal is X, which we keep doing really well together, by the way, John.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Every project that we've been involved in together has done extremely well. And it's because we keep doing these type of things, and because everyone has different things that pull on them, extra stressors, things they've been through in the past, things they're going to do in the future. It's just like understanding the person you work with, and also understanding where the spots are. Like John's mentioned before that he was upset about things that I said that I didn't even know he's upset about, but he said he was managing the way he manages his anger. He just left and I didn't even notice he was doing that. Like, I really didn't even, some of the things you said one time to me, I was like, dude, I didn't even know that was like even something you would be upset about. So,
sure.
And I'm sure the same thing has happened with me. But at the end of the day, I started to look at it like this. I'm like, if I go to World War III on something that really ain't that serious, the downfall of all of this amazing stuff, like, it's just, dude, it ain't that serious. Now, if I find out John steals 25,000 from me, motherfucker, that's serious.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? But if John wants a color on the wall to be orange and I think it should be green, do I really give a fuck?
Right.
I don't. I just don't. That's my personality, because at the end of the day, it's like we're still getting to the goal. And if he feels strong about that, and unless it's a really big deal, then I'm not even going to bring it up, because it's just a matter of an opinion, and it doesn't really change the ultimate goal.
Right.
I don't know. That's the way I look.
No, I mean, that's a good point, right? So John wants orange on the wall. Let's say you don't. But that's one of those situations where I want the listener to gauge that situation. So let's say I really fucking want orange on the wall. Like for some reason I really want it. And Cory,
like, that's your all in on orange.
Right. I'm all in on orange. And Cory doesn't want it, but he notices that, like, fuck, John really fucking wants orange, but
Exactly.
I think it's kind of fucking stupid. Is this really worth like upsetting the ebb and flow of what we have? It's not a
No.
It's and these are the situations that you'll find yourself in daily with your friends, business partners, coworkers, etc. And guys, here's a fact: your wife is going to upset you. your mother's going to upset you, your business part. Like we need to understand that even the ones we love and that we're closest to are going to fucking piss us off. But we dictate how we react or don't react or communicate calmly. So many people point the finger outside on, I was wrong. And this is what I talk about this a lot. Like, even if you were wrong, it's over. Like, so if you want to go get vengeance, bro, vengeance never pays off. Vengeance never pays off. If you want to have a conversation with someone and let them know, fine. But dude, vengeance, it never fucking pays off. So, you know, when you look at the whole scope of things, when you look at everybody in your life, the more fucking battles you pick, whether they be in your own head or whether they be with that individual, all you're doing, please, in closing this thing up, all you're doing is slowing your pace. Like you're a fucking car that used to drive 80, now you're driving 25. You're slowing your pace to your goal or your destination because you're clouding your head with fucking unnecessary bullshit. So this takes discipline. Yeah. It takes discipline because we got to take it on the chin sometimes and say it's okay. Like that pissed me off, but it's okay. Let's move forward for the betterment. So,
you think it's like one thing I want to add, John. You think it's almost like you're weighing real time ego versus harmony in a way. That part, sure. I think that's a very fair way to say it. Yeah, to break it down because harmony, dude. There's a price on harmony, and I don't just mean money. I mean with your wife or with your husband or with your boyfriend. Like harmony is what allows us to do what we do on a daily basis with a smile on our face. And dude, there's no price on that. There's no price on waking up in the morning and not feeling like I have to talk about what went on last night because it was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Like that, man, there's extreme value there. So pick your battles, value your own internal mental energy, and do everything you can do to keep it as positive as possible. With that being said, it's Cory Gregory time.
All right. Thank you, Johnny.
Absolutely.
That was good. That was really good talking points. It went a little long, but I think it needed to because it was solid, bro.
Absolutely.
All right. So the thing I was coming back from the track today, and I get a lot of the same questions on my direct message and through Twitter and stuff. And a lot of it is based around, if I should, what do I need to do next? How did you, everything's based around how did I essentially get to a point where I look like I really love my life. I get to do shit I love to do. I've got to live a lot of dreams out. And yeah, I have to fucking work my ass off. And I think that I document that well. And I think half crazy and got my own kind of feel. But how did that happen, really from where I come from and what I was born with? And I really started to think about when it started to really ring true for me was when I understood, and this comes a lot from Andrew Carnegie stuff too, how important personal initiative was combined with confident decision making. And so a lot of people might think that they make confident decisions, but they're not the ones creating the opportunities, or they can't see them because they're blinded, or because they feel entitled, or there's a bunch of different stuff that can kind of go there. And I think that the thing that keeps coming to mind is quit fucking sitting on your couch wondering why shit ain't happening to you. Because guess what? It's never gonna fucking happen unless you take some fucking initiative. And then when you take it, make some real decisions and believe in yourself. That right there is the two things that make it happen. People always say, well, gee, how did this happen? Motherfucker, I made it happen. I went out and found the resources, figured out the cash, figured out the skill set, worked my ass off. And then when I had those times where I had to make decisions to make my shit better for my family, I feel like 9 times out of 10 or 7 out of 10, well, shit, 3 out of 10 gets you in the Hall of Fame. In baseball, I made the right decision, or at least in the ballpark of the right decision. And that is the key, because at the end of the day, when you have that confidence that you believe in yourself of what you're about, that's how that shit works. When you make decisions based on, I'm not sure, and I don't know if I want to be uncomfortable and get off my couch, dude, that's not going to equal shit. And you're just going to keep scrolling through Instagram and talking shit on your homeboy and wonder why shit ain't happened to you. Motherfucker, I know why this shit happened to me. I see you looking at the camera right now. I know why it happened to me. That's it. So if you want it to happen to you, take some fucking initiative. And then when you do and you see shit happening, make some decisions that will change your life. And do that shit today. Get off the fucking couch. I'm so tired of listening to motherfuckers sit around and whine when they're like, oh, I'm waiting for this dude to put me on. Motherfucker ain't putting you on. Put your fucking self on. That's what I did. I wasn't waiting on nobody, and I still ain't waiting on nobody.
Yeah,
Johnny?
man. I agree with it. I think a lot of people, it's a combination of they don't know how and they're scared. And at the end of the day, we all got to be big boys and big girls. And the one word that kept popping in my head as you were speaking is decisiveness. Like, so everybody knows internally what they want, or at least they get to that point when they're in their early 20s, I would say, where they really know what they want, but they don't move towards it because they don't give themselves the power. They give others the power. They give their own power away. They don't give themselves the ability to be decisive. And you guys got to understand, when you're looking at people who are successful, or if you're looking at people who have things that you want or you aspire to be like, these fucking people, whoever they may be, these are decisive people who had ideas, made a fucking decision on a dime, and they went all in. There was no, I heard what my aunt said, I heard what my friend said, and my thought's not as good anymore because I'm hearing what people are saying, and man, they don't believe in it. And like, you must understand that anything that's new or different will be doubted by the masses until you prove them wrong. That's a big part of business that is very liberating. I will say that is that you, you have to take it upon yourself to silence or not let other people's words register in your head. And the vision that you had in April, as you're working on it and it's in December, and you've heard 97 people tell you how stupid it was, you have to be more confident in fucking December than you were in April. And those fucking 97 comments, bro, you have to create a system, a methodology in your head so they just roll off you, because that's how you free yourself. And it may not work out. It may work out, but just going through the process of you being you, free of other people, the amount of value in that process, win or lose, will allow you to eventually win. But you have to take the first step and just be decisive, move forward, not let shit register from others. And it's very hard.
Yeah, I want to use an example, Johnny, where, we were working on, and we've mentioned this a few times. I'm going to give them a little bit more context. We were working on the labels for MaxEffortMuscle.com. Shameless plug. Check out the supplements. And, we were, I would say it was like a 7 out of 10. That's maybe a 5 out of 10. And we were almost like about to go to market with it. And John came to me and said, look, dude, this just, I got an idea from it. Once again, it was like a confidence about a personality thing that he was into, a certain type of art and artist. And I don't know if they do these type of things, but let's just kind of, let's take the initiative and try to reach out to them. I don't know what they cost. I don't know how I've never been in contact with them. I've collected it forever, blah, 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 blah. And boom, we went with it. It was an initiative that I was so glad he brought to the table. It was a completely different look for the industry. It still is a completely different look for the industry. If you look at Max, and when you really understand the logo, which we came to understand as we've worked with it, how great it really is. And we should do a breakdown on it sometime.
We
Johnny. It's been
should.
pretty amazing.
That actually
you know
would
what
be,
I mean?
yes,
That's
that would be a good
great segment, right? And how great it really was put together. And when you get it pointed out, you could realize that. And the fact that it was a quick decision. Literally, we were almost about to go to market, and 2 weeks later, the whole thing looked completely different, but became great because of it. And I think that that's one of the things that I am so glad we did, and is now coming up again. We're going through that same exact thing with another thing that we're building right now. And you just got to know that the initiative of if you hear it in the back of your mind, act on it, and then be confident. Like, no, I know this shit's going to be dope. G, check it out. Do some research. Let's talk to these guys. And because I wasn't happy with it either. And I'm so glad that he did it. And that was one of the things that made me, obviously even trust more in John's ability, plus some that I wasn't even aware of, because I never really worked with him like this before.
Right.
You know, I only know what I knew coming from Muscle Farm, and I didn't do stuff like this with John. We did different initiatives. We did marketing initiatives. It wasn't brand building.
Mm.
And so when you see your business partner come through on some shit like that, that's like a home run, you know, obviously we both give them the creative, like, kind of opportunity, meaning like we gave them the direction of what we wanted. But at the end of the day, like, that was a huge deal. And that was just kind of one of my, ideas around this segment that I'm just, you know, kind of wanted to use as an example.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a great point, and I think when you have an idea that you think is good, here's what's crazy: the best ideas are the ideas that you can't look out the window or drive down the street or go to a shopping mall and see, right? Because the best ideas are the ones that haven't been done yet. Right. So that's where you have to be a confident motherfucker and be decisive and say, fuck it, man, I'm going with it. Because who is impressed by something they've seen before? I know I'm not. No. If I've seen it before, dude, you're just a me too. You're a fucking me too. Yep. So if you got that idea in your head, dude, fucking go with it, man. And you won't be sorry. Regardless of the outcome, you won't be sorry, because the process is where the fucking money's at.
Absolutely. I believe it's time for our main event.
Ring the bell, especially if we're fucking going into a WWE ring, Jeremy.
I think Jeremy wants to lock the cage. And
it's a ladder match now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to talk about in our main event today, unlocking your full potential. And I think a lot of people are going to go, obviously, right to the business part. But as John, I think, will frame up for you guys, and I can't wait to add to this, is that, man, if you don't get yourself put together, you can't even really operate out here in the streets.
In the streets.
Got to stay with that. So I think that's a lot of people don't realize how much you have to work on yourself. John, myself, Cory, uninterrupted, so many hours to then be able to actually process and take on the outside stressors and the things that we do in business and be confident on a regular basis. And there's a whole, washroom of stuff that has to happen, and laundry list to get to even be here. And I can't wait to hear just kind of your thoughts on this, John, and I'll work off.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think it is the ultimate limiting factor, right? Because when it comes to you as a person, college doesn't teach you how to dig into yourself, to better yourself, emotionally, mentally. Most 99% of parents don't teach you how to dig into yourself, emotionally and mentally. So this is something I love when we talk about this, because it's not found in a predictable or systematic or uniform place, and it's not taught by most parents. So when I say it's the ultimate limiting factor, it's like this, man. This is about getting good at the game of life, and the game of life encompasses business. It encompasses working with people. It encompasses relationship. and all those things. But at the end of the day, we all have these dark things that typically, start in our childhood or continue on into your adulthood. But this process is digging those motherfuckers out and staring at them, like digging on the things and staring at the things that you don't want to stare at, the things you fear most, the things thinking about, like when you think of something, it's the last thing you want to think about. Those are the things, or that is the thing that you have to think about most, because when you get in those spaces, you are facing down your fears. You're facing down your feelings. You're basically getting in touch with who you are. And that scares the fuck out of people. It scares the fuck out of people because if they do that, they may find out that their brother that they love, that they've been telling people for 27 years they love, they may find out that they're really fucking angry at their fucking brother. And maybe their brother isn't the guy they've been telling everybody he is. That's why people get so scared of looking at, maybe my mother isn't this saint. Maybe she's a self-serving person who has let me down my whole life, but I've been spitting out this story to other people, so I'm not in touch with the truth. So when you sit down and you look at these things, you literally have to treat them like they're a motherfucking, like what we talked about before the show, like they're a bully. You have to be willing to fucking stare them down and punch them between the eyes and take them on, because these are our demons. And once you do this, once you take these things on that are so fucking powerful, they are what's in our DNA. They are our positives. They are our negatives. They are who we are. These are our roots. And a lot of them are dark, and that's okay. But the only way to shine the spotlight on them is to walk into the dark and battle them. But you cannot sit on the sideline your whole fucking life and think the shit that's dark is going to go away or get lighter. It's not. Things don't happen. We make them happen. But here's what I can guarantee you. That's a tall task I just talked about. It's a tall task, but it's a mandatory task. And if you do it, all those weird personality quirks you have about fucking being defensive or being over aggressive or intimidating people or having to be right, or all these things that people, these little quirks, they're all a product of the darkness we have. And if we shine the light on it, like, that stuff goes away. And you can just see situations and see people. And more importantly, you can see your own behavior for what it is, not through your biased lens. And when you can see your own behavior for what it is, man, you can work with people better. You can lead people better. You can make clear-headed decisions. And I just know from doing this my whole adult life, the value of it, because it's something I do daily. I never stop digging, bro. I never stop digging, but I see people who won't even entertain the thought of digging, and I see where they're at in life, and they're never, ever, ever where they want to be. And I truly believe that's why.
Yeah, well said, Johnny. How long have we been doing this how long me and you've been podcasting for, John? Maybe 2 years?
Yeah.
Longer?
Yeah. Or maybe longer. Yeah.
So maybe let's call it, 52 weeks times 2 times a week times, let's call it 2 years, 208. We'll call it 250. So that's probably one of my favorite things, other than obviously being able to give to the listener, which is always first and foremost. But I'm selfish in the matter that having, let's call it 300 hours or better, probably way more than that, because a lot of these shows were over an hour long, of concentrated value, thought-provoking time that has undeniably unlocked a higher potential in me personally. And I would hope you probably think that too, just by this process, right? It's like, to be able to have to, because you've asked me questions that I've never thought about. I think I've asked you questions that you've never thought about. We've brought up main event topics neither of us have dug on before, or maybe we've thought about but never went in there. I've never went to therapy before, so I don't really know what it's like, but I've got to be able to get things out on this podcast that I absolutely would have talked about if I went to see somebody. And I think that being in media as long as I've been, which is like over 10 years or so, and just being able to tell my story and explain my thought process and why I'm like I am and how I got this way and how upset I was about things from my past and things I've worked on and things I'm slightly afraid of, ever returning there, and things I want to change with my family, and being able to voice all those things and hear them out loud and say them on video and say them on this audio, and, us battling and going back and forth on these digging deep items, and being on this podcast and crying about my tattoos and being choked up talking about my mom, and, being pissed off talking about my dad. Like, dude, none of that shit's easy to do in front of the fucking camera, but it's necessary. You have to be vulnerable. And the people that you're saying that don't even want to go there, it's because they're scared. Look, I knew that those days when I talked about those items, that's what was going to happen. And I still did it. Like, I didn't really care because I knew I was going to get better, and hopefully the listener would get better by seeing me be vulnerable and talk about those items, because guess what? They're fucking real, man.
Oh.
That shit's real. That's how I got here. That's how I'll continue to go where I'm going to go. And everybody has these things that eat them up, or that are in the back of their mind that they just never fucking talk about because they're scared. So I just like that we have a platform, John. It just happens to have a shitload of people that listen to it on top of it. But it's like, I look forward to that and try to press myself to do those type of things, and have since we started. And it's unlocked a bunch of stuff for me. And obviously most people aren't going to do it on a podcast, but it's good to have some people that you can chat with like John and I do. And here's what's interesting is there's no way in hell John and I could have done similar business, but I just don't think it'd be as true and locked in if we wouldn't have had these type of discussions and really got a chance to know each other. Like, obviously we're still learning about each other every day as we work together and do this podcast, but I feel like I understand John in a much better way. I think he probably understands me in a much better way, really mostly because of this.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, 100%. And like, relating to this, I got a call. I was talking to a friend, like, I don't know, a month ago. And it came up, like, I made a comment. I said, if I could change anything, I would change nothing. And the immediate comment back to me was, how could you say that? And what he was referring to was obviously growing up in a massively abusive household and drug use that almost took my life and stuff like that. But I say you have to understand one thing, man. That's who I am. So it's not about if I like it. Me liking it, it doesn't enter the sphere of thought. That's John fucking Fusco. That's who the fuck I am. Like it, hate it, angry. No, I am numb to it because I accept it. I accept who I was. I accept who I am. I accept the fact that I am working hard to grow daily. Here's who John Fusco is. John Fusco is somebody who grew up in a brutal fucking household, who became a drug addict, who has anger fucking issues. But you want to know what else I am? I'm someone that knows that. And because I know that, I'm able to do positive things to improve on all those things. Those things are traumatic. Those things are hard. But if I never fucking got in touch with them, how could I improve on them? I would be a motherfucking monster. I would be a goddamn tornado that all I would do is hurt myself on a daily basis through my behavior. So the only way I don't hurt myself and I help myself and I continue to help myself and I continue to hit my goals and I continue to grow is by accepting that is me. That's fucking me. Do you think it's fucking, do you think it feels good to tell somebody you were a drug addict that overdosed? No, but it stopped even mattering to me because That's just what it is. That's what it is. That is reality. So love, if you want to judge me on that, go right ahead, bro. I don't care. But that's who I am. That's why I'm here. And that's all okay. So everybody, whatever you got, whatever shit you got, bro, who are you? Accept it. Because once you accept it, then it's like you can walk on your own 2 feet. You're not putting on an act. This isn't fake. This is fucking me, dude. This is me. It will always be me. And I think the sooner you figure out that, then dude, the potential is unlimited.
I think like the connecting of the dots, John, is really important. Like when I say that, I'm referenced like when I am communicating with my wife, if I'm like in a fucking ultra zone of some sort, which I get, which you get, that's how we kind of operate. And, you know, I know why I'm like that, and I can communicate why I'm like that, how I got like that, what's happening, like, but I'm also aware of it, to your point, that it can be very, distant, very like, what is it? Almost like, ultra highly focused, like almost at like an obsessive, nutty level. I mean, that's just the fucking truth. But the reason why I'm like this is because of things that happened in my past that I'm never wanted to repeat. And I became ultra highly focused, and then it worked. And so then the way my brain works is I know the outcome that comes with X. It's really like it's
a fucking equation. It's an equation.
It is an equation, John. And that's why when I spit it out like that to people that don't think like us, they look at me like I'm fucking nuts. But I try to say like X time out of bed times training times this much work times this much personal development times this times that equals this for X amount of years. Yeah. And it doesn't happen in 12 months. It doesn't happen in 24. You know what I'm saying? And so I always say like, so why would I change it if I know what the outcome is, no matter how, this, that, or whatever, how you feel on a certain day. And so I think that like that, making sense of like an obsessive type of thing, but understanding that, hey, once again, to your point earlier in the show, you have to pick your battles a little bit at times to make it all harmonious, all of it. Relationships in business, relationships at home, relationships with immediate family, relationship with your kids. And that's just part of the balancing act that, you know, we do as entrepreneurs, business people, family members. Hey, everybody's somebody's son, somebody's brother, you know, somebody's dad, somebody's business partner. That's just somebody's employee. So, I mean, everybody has all these outside stressors that they're balancing these things during, trying to unlock what they want out of their life. And it is a big time task, and it's not something that's easily done. And if you just keep pushing it under the covers and put it in and not addressing it, it's 1,000% your ceiling and limiting factor to your
guaranteed
success.
Loser.
Like there is no question that when I broke through certain items in my life, it opened up a windfall of opportunity for me that was easy decisions to continue with and make happen. There's a lot of work that happened with it alongside of it. Nothing's fucking easy, but it just, things were really clear because I had dealt with certain items and understanding in certain, I guess, situations, how you're going to react. Sure. Like I know in certain situations what my initial feel is going to be just from shit that's happened in my past. I'm sure that you feel the same way. And I know I probably shouldn't let that happen, or I need to pull back on it. There's just when you understand yourself, life becomes, it's never easy, but a little bit more manageable.
Absolutely. And like another thing I would add is, another great fucking piece of advice I got is that, okay, pain is meant to be felt. So we're talking about searching on yourself. And this people may not believe that I'm saying this, but I am saying this. People need to spend more time going in a room, dealing with their pain and crying. We're all humans. We're all fucking humans, dude. No one's a fucking cyborg. And everybody has deep fucking pain. And it's meant to be felt. But what so many people do is they run from the pain. They run from the pain. And guys, that's how drug addiction happens. That's how gambling addiction happens. Okay. That's how sex addiction happens. That's how womanizing happens. All these things come from running from pain. And we all have it. But why are you such a pussy? Why are you so afraid to sit in a room with yourself, and be in touch with your pain because you don't want to feel it? Okay, what's the other option? What's the other option? Just let it sit in you like a fucking cancer cell? Like, bro, that don't pay off. That don't pay off. But here's what does pay off, right? And I think people can connect the dots on this one. When you break up with that girlfriend or that boyfriend, that's just crushing, right? And like, it's just crushing. And then 3 months later, you're like, you know what? I can't believe I thought it was that like serious. Well, what is that? What is that? It's the mourning process, right? You deal with that pain, and then it's like you're reborn in a way. You're fresh. Like it's not that serious. Your pain is the same way. Your pain is the same way. But the problem is your pain is probably connected to the iconic figures in your life that are your family, and it ain't like a girlfriend. It's way bigger, but it still has to be dealt with. So feel your pain. Don't run from it, because that breeds horrible things. And dude, get in a room and fucking let it out, because it has to come out. And I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking that's some straight freedom right there.
Yeah, and I think it's accurate to say, right, John, it's deal with it. Don't not only not run from it, but cope with it. Trying, I guess drugs are a way of running from it, right, John?
It numbs pain. It numbs pain.
Yeah. Crazy. And that's what people do for drinking. That's what they're doing at happy hour. That's what they're doing on the weekends. That's what they're doing all day Thursday night, Friday night, because they're running from shit that they don't want to deal with.
You're a zillion percent. Anybody that has any addiction, who drinks, who fucking drugs, anybody who goes to guys, it's all masking pain. That's all it is. That's all it is. Because when you're at peace, you don't need to sit in a crowded bar and drink until you feel something. Think about it. You drink until you feel something. Like you're feeling good. There's no substitute for it. There's no substitute for waking up, feeling good, being invigorated. But guess what? It takes work to get to that place. It takes work. And that work is and time. You are correct. And that's understanding that, like, bro, I got to get through this. But once I do, there's a fucking, there's sunshine on the other side of it. But anybody who goes out and does drugs, dude, they are in pain 100% guaranteed. And we don't want you as a listener to be there, because we know you want to accomplish things in business. We know you want to accomplish things in life, and staring it down, I believe, is how you do it.
What just made a ton of sense, John, as you were talking, is that the pain that I had dealt with, it can't. The thing I went to was the gym did it for me. I got lucky, because I never really did drugs and drank alcohol on a regular basis, like at an absurd level. We've talked about this. I think that's why I never got caught up in that stuff, because the gym became, at an obsessive level, no question, that thing that I would run to essentially to get help. And through the teachings of, mostly Arnold stuff early, and me getting more confidence in myself and having something to lash out at in a positive manner, I think that's what I did instead of, and I thank God that that's what it was, because I easily could have, I saw people with, around me doing it and got caught up, and some of them aren't even here anymore because they got caught up on some hard shit, meth and fucking heroin and all kinds of shit from where I'm from, just like where everybody's from right now has that shit going on. And it's like, because they're running from that pain, and thank God that you came out of it, Johnny. But I think that the gym was what I ran to. It just was fortunate that it became, part of my life like it did. But that's probably makes the most sense to me of why I never really was like wanting to fuck with that stuff a whole bunch. I think it's because I got what I needed out of my obsessive gym fucking shit I did, basically.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I know we're going long, but this is good stuff. But I what's interesting is I don't know if the person who's in pain, if I could take myself back when I started using, because I was was listening to you and then saying, okay, mirroring it back to me. I was saying, okay, I was in the gym. I worked out like a motherfucker. Why was that not enough for me? Right. Well, I think it was, but the environment that I was in had people had that extra stuff in it. And when you're in pain and you can't really identify it, because I was younger and I wasn't in touch with the stuff we're talking about now that hopefully we can help you get in touch with. That's just a little bit of this. That's just a little bit of that. And it's never like, I don't think people seek out drugs at the beginning. I think they're there and it's like, why not? Versus being disciplined and saying, well, I know why not, because drugs aren't good. They're not going to help me in any fucking way. So, guys, just the point there.
Environment has a lot to do with it, because you look up to somebody and they're the ones saying, oh yeah, just go ahead, and that's, so I mean, that's environment has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if there wasn't pills in my environment, I wouldn't have done it, but it was more of a curiosity from my side, because I didn't have a high level of self-worth, because I was a maniac at that point who had not worked out my issues. So I didn't have a high level of self-worth. So it's like, yeah, sure, I'll fucking try it. And I think that's how people start. So man, if you are one of those people right now that's struggling and you're like, fuck, man, they're talking about me. They're describing me. Yeah. Please be aware of who you're around and what they're doing. And if they're doing things that, involve drug, dude, please listen to this episode twice.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to wrap it up, Johnny. Really good stuff, man. I think we got some great content today. It's brought to you by Fundrise. John, what is Fundrise?
Cory, I know you love Fundrise.
I do. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Well, I told you what it was at the beginning, so of course I want you to tell me what it is. I want to see if you retained information.
Obviously I did. Fundrise enables you to instantly access high quality, high potential private market real estate projects. John Fusco, from high rises in DC to multifamily apartments.
Oh, you're remembering.
LA. Each Fundrise investment allows investors to diversify instantly across dozens of real estate projects, each one carefully vetted out and actively managed by the Fundrise team and real estate pros. You can get more information at fundrise.com/biceps. Fusco.
I'm impressed.
And John, if you were going to go get a loan, would you go to Square?
I would absolutely go to Square. I'd go to Square for a loan. I'd go to Square for POS hardware. I'd go to Square for merchant processing. I'd probably go to Square for a new pair of shoes. These guys, every day they're coming out with a new service. They probably have jeans. I'll wear their jeans if they have them, but I'm not sure if they have them yet. But they literally
Square jeans.
Let me
help you, John. Oh,
Square no, I was just complimenting Square's ingenuity.
They are amazing. Square jeans next. Hey, we got sweatshirts from them, so appreciate it, Square.
Yeah, I know. You took them all and never sent one to me, so thanks.
I think your biceps were too big. So Square knows how hard it is to get a loan as a small business, so they decided to get involved. So you can check out square.com/go/biceps. Of course, all loans are subject to credit approval and issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC. But Square does have a capital arm to their business now, and you should absolutely check it out.
Listen, Cory, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Listen, eligible businesses can apply online. There's no trips to banks during banking hours. They provide access to loans from $500 to $250,000. Okay, that's what Square does. Cory, get with it. Okay, get with it. Yeah,
unbelievable. All right, lastly, Johnny Fusco.
Cory Gregory.
Can the podcast be stopped?
The podcast.
Good.